Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another video today. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a little bit of an overview. I want to apologize that the video was rushed a little bit earlier, but again, I wanted to get the information out there as quick as possible. So I really did not get a detailed view of the store, and typically I do that. So I apologize if this is going up following the video, but again, I wanted to get it out there, and I want to talk about this store. So what makes this store so special in particular, and what does the future hold for this store? Well, obviously this morning the liquidation was posted, I believe, at 11 a.m. This was pretty significant. The last Sears store in the Hudson Valley region of New York State, and the last Sears in New York State, I mean, that is a pretty big deal. This will basically, there'll be no more full-line Sears department stores within the state of New York after this one unfortunately shuts down. But we're going to get a little bit of an overview of this Sears store, starting from the west portion of the department store. So this is Newburgh Mall's last department store, by the way, too, because the Bonton, that became some kind of casino that they put at the mall. So obviously we're going to start on the west portion of the building. And you got the Newburgh Mall sign here. You got some things. This was built by Sears. This is also a one-level Sears. There are no more two-level Sears stores within the New York State. And as of today, there will be no more non-liquidating one-level Sears stores in New York State. So again, this is the west entrance of the Sears department store. You had a merchandise pickup section, and basically what merchandise pickup was, it was where you could go into the Sears department store, and you could get, if you did like an online order or like a fridge, and you would just come here and pick it up, which is pretty cool to have that feature at this type of store. Obviously, the iconic blue Sears shopping carts, man, I remember the days of the Sears blue shopping carts at Paramus Park. I mean, I went to Sears in Hackensack a lot more, but and it's been closed since, but it is cool to see the Sears blue cards. I haven't seen them since maybe 2018 or 2020. So we move along to the rest of the Sears department store, and we can see that we have the truck bays for when they would get the inventory into the physical store, and of course the trash compactor when they would unfold the boxes. But you can see that even this looks really bad too. I mean, it just looks like that they have been neglecting this property for a very long time. Even the parking lot doesn't look good. I mean, the writing was on the wall for this location, and then of course, what also didn't help was the fact that they shut down all the auto centers, which basically means any Sears now is vulnerable to a closing because of all the auto centers. It's just, again, basically at this point, any Sears that's operating is up for sale, and once someone has an interest on the building, they buy out the building, and as a result of them buying out the whatever the lease or whatever the agreement is on the lease, that results in the Sears store closing. It's been happening left and right. It happened with Kmart in Kearney when Target bought out the lease for that Kmart store in Kearney. I don't know why the other one closed in Belleville a few years back, or last year rather. Sorry. But it seems that some tenant bought out the spot in this Sears department store. And that is now today the results of that store being listed on SP360 because of the transaction. I don't know exactly when the transaction was complete. I would assume that it was done probably either last week or the week before, and they officially made it public today. But otherwise, this store would not be closing if someone did not buy out, because basically all the buildings are up for sale. Any Sears department store, any Kmart store that's still operating is up for sale. They're just trying to find the right tenant to take over the spot. So then we get to the auto center, and the auto center, this is the exit of the auto center. You can tell too. I mean, it just, the way that it showed on Google of the way that the building looks, it's not good, especially when you see crumbling pavement and side of buildings that have been taken care of in years, like even this probably from the air conditioner. It's just not a good sign. And obviously, as we know, the Sears Auto Center, obviously all the auto centers closed back in 2021, and now we know that any Sears store is vulnerable to a closing. So this Sears Auto Center had both Die-Hard batteries, automotive entrance. Wow, that's a pretty cool sign. Eye protection required. That's an interesting sign. So not only could you get your car fixed at the Sears Auto Center, it was a registered State of New York Motor Vehicle Repair Shop, and not only was this a repair shop auto center, but it was also registered with the state of New York as a motor vehicle inspection station. So basically, instead of going to your state's DMV, you could come to Sears and have your car inspected. I mean, that's not how it is now, obviously, with all the auto centers gone. But back in the day, I think that was pretty cool. And you can see too that they added an entrance here. Because when I guess they expanded the building to include the auto center, which they were able to put a new entrance in. And why do I say new entrance? Well, because if you look very closely at the Sears here, this was definitely an entrance at one point. Somehow they were able to match the brick with this brick here, and this was completely sealed off. They don't just have a Sears sign out like that. This was once upon a time an entrance, the north entrance rather, into the department store, but the north entrance has since moved a few feet west. So, and again, you got that iconic Sears sign too, which is pretty cool. So, and then just some landscaping, of course, which, you know, they're not going to be I mean, now they're not even going to be taking care of it. It's really unfortunate that they won't be. So again, this is more of an elaborate overview of the store. Obviously, I put the video up. I just had to get it up pretty early, but I can now finally do like an elaborate video explaining to you guys all the different elements of the store, what kind of design they picked. I mean, the design definitely screams 1960s or 1970s or even 1980s to some extent. And you can see here we got the east entrance, the semi-annual blowout event. They'll be putting store closing. They'll probably put the store, if they're going to put the store closing sign anywhere on this Sears store, it's probably going to be right here where they have that semi-annual blowout event sale. And then just some more trees, basically some more landscaping. Really nothing else to see here other than that. So, and then this just goes right back into the mall. So, yeah. And then finally, my final point. Well, first we'll take a look at the entrances, specifically speaking. Let's start out with the south portion of the store. This is the south entrance into the store, with the auto center entrance as well being located on the south portion of the Sears department store. On the west part of the store, we have a west entrance into the Sears department store, as well as the merchandise pickup. We have the auto center exit on the west portion of the store, the truck bay or loading bay area for the trucks, as well as the store's trash compactor. Some things that they made, and they're trying to get them, but they neglected a lot. The north entrance of the store is connected to the Newburgh Mall in Newburgh, New York. And finally, the east entrance, which just comprises of one entrance into the Sears department store. And you can see that this portion of the Sears department store was built as an extension. It's you could literally tell by the roofs that this portion of the Sears department store was the original part of the store, and this was probably added on a few years later. You can tell very easily by the way that the roofs are presented in this 3D view of this Sears department store. So, and then the final thing that we have to take a look at is Sears Careers. It was just put on a few hours ago. Again, I believe it was around 11 o'clock this morning. Temporary cashier, up to 40 hours a week, Newburgh location, Newburgh, New York, which basically means that the store is closing because of those temporary positions posted on that site. And then obviously with SB360 Capital Partners LLC, it's obviously there on SB360 as well, confirming that the store is closing. So whenever there's an article that does come out, you know that I will put out a video about that. It just might not be, you know, in the morning. It might be later in the day. So just you know, stay tuned for that, because I will definitely be putting that out as well. And yeah, this is just an overview, guys. If you like the video, please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And yeah, so anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Link to the job posting will be located in the video description below, as well as the listing on SB360 Capital Partners LLC. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and that will be it.